Gerron needed to direct. It was behind the camera that Kurt Gerron found his true calling. It was the place he could be number one. Gerron knew what his audiences wanted, and he was a born showman. In a string of features in a variety of genres, Gerron directed some of the greatest talents of his day. But Kurt Gerron wasn't the only German enjoying remarkable success in his career.
Everybody said, oh, he won't last long, that Hitler. And nobody believed in that government to last.
Evil of that kind is so sinister and so beyond imagination, but what happened in Germany was to all of us who were brought up there and lived unthinkable. But it happened, and very quickly.
If Gerron was taking the Nazis seriously, it didn't show in the way he behaved on set. His friend, the popular actor Heinz Roman, wrote in his memoirs, "He was a big, strong man with a mind like a child. Kurt didn't know, or perhaps he didn't want to know, how serious the situation really was. He'd even call for his production manager by shouting, 'Where's my little stormtrooper?' Some of us forced ourselves to smile, but others remained stone-faced. There were already Nazi spies in the studio."
Ja, hatte bestimmt dieses ein bisschen zu viel von Eitelkeit.
He was a little too vain. His career was always his concern. It let him close his eyes to what was really happening.
Several weeks later, Gerron's past came back to haunt him. SS thugs singing the Horst Wessel song stormed the director's set, payback for his anti-Nazi parodies of a decade before. Gerron, his cast and crew had no choice but to join in, raising their arms in a Hitler salute. One of the first actions taken by the new Nazi government was to proclaim a nationwide boycott of Jewish businesses. It was to begin on Saturday, April the 1st, 1933. The unsuspecting Gerron turned up on set as usual. He was directing a romantic comedy. The star of his film that day was Magda Schneider.
Produktionsleiter auf und geht also auf so eine Bühne und sagt, meine Damen, meine Herren.
The production manager suddenly stood up on stage and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I am sorry to announce that those who are not of pure Aryan background will have to leave the premises immediately."
Wir wussten ja, es waren ja freien viele Juden noch.
We knew that there were still several Jewish people amongst us, especially our director.
Ich habe nur zum Gerron geschaut.
I looked over to Gerron, and he averted his eyes. He probably realized that I thought this was his death sentence. That's the way we saw it. He looked first at me and then at my husband.
Wir waren die Hauptdarsteller des Films und dann hat ein paar Mal
He
geschluckt.
swallowed, stood up, sighed deeply and walked straight out. We could only see his back. He was trembling so much. I'll never forget that. His trembling back has haunted me for years.
Moments later, Magda Schneider and the rest of the cast were back at work. The Nazis had already chosen Gerron's replacement, the Aryan director Erich von Neusser. Gerron's career was in ruins. Making movies had been his life. A Berlin Berliner to the core, he had no way of making a living in the city he loved. What was he to do now? Where was he to go? What was to become of him?